Very sorry to tell you that.
Jim Wallis is also with us. Jim, you are on an extended hunger fast. Reverend Jim Wallis, evangelical Christian writer, founder and editor of Sojourners Magazine. Why are you fasting?
Good morning, Amy. We're in the 18th day now of this hunger fast because I think the issues around this budget are that serious. And so about 40,000 people have joined this fast, even about 29 members of Congress. And the message is very clear. A budget, whether at a kitchen table or in Washington, D.C., a budget is always a matter of choices. The framework in this debate is just wrong. The Republicans say we have no money and we have to cut everything. Democrats say, well, yeah, but not that much. And then they fight back and forth and threaten government shutdowns. Really, it's a matter of choices that we're making. They were talking about cutting $8.5 billion from low-income housing, but keeping the same amount of money, $8.4 billion, for deductions on second vacation homes, a different kind of housing. Those are choices. $2.5 billion for cutting home heating oil for poor people, and yet $2.5 billion for offshore drilling subsidies for oil companies. Those are choices. Amy, they want to cut in this budget 10 million malaria bed nets that keep kids from dying, and yet not one line item of military spending. And so this is really not scarcity, it's choices. And so the faith community and many of us beyond the faith community say this is now a matter of fasting and prayer and action. My mind's a bit fuzzy, but my spirit's very focused because this really, a budget is a moral document. And the nation needs to understand that it reflects our values. Who's important, what's important, and that's really the choice before us now.
And what are the moral values, in your opinion, that the proposed changes of the Republicans and even of the Democratic, the agreement that was reached a few days ago? What is that? What is that moral message that they're sending?
Well, Paul Ryan is the Republican champion here, and I want to say Paul Ryan is not serious about spending cuts. Neither is the Tea Party, because they don't go to where the real money is. They don't talk about massive corporate subsidies, corporate welfare, if you will. They don't talk about military spending, not at all. We spend more on the military. I won't call it defense, it isn't defense. More on the military than the rest of the world combined. And they can't find anything to cut. So they're not budget hawks. They're budget hypocrites is what they are. And then President Obama yesterday at least finally got off the sidelines and addressed the issue. And he laid out some foundations that could be good if, in fact, his most important line was they're going to cut Head Start and for kids, health care for seniors, and afford tax breaks for the wealthiest even more. That's wrong, and it won't happen when I'm president. That line, that's wrong, and it won't happen while I'm the president, is the most important line of his speech. He's going to have to get used to saying that over and over and over again. But Mr. Obama didn't even mention the war in Afghanistan. The truth is, those of us, many of us have formed, we're calling it a circle of protection around the most critical programs for the poorest people. And the Catholic bishops and World Vision and National Association of Evangelicals, everybody's involved in this. But the president, by withdrawing 5,000 troops from Afghanistan, could protect all the programs that we're trying to protect. Not a word last night about the wars that have cost this nation so dearly in lives and now in the possibility of a moral budget here. So neither side is dealing with the real issues here yet. The president began to last night, but I hope he begins to, in fact, act on what he began to say yesterday.
I wanted to go to the budget chair, Paul Ryan. Earlier this year, in the GOP response to President Obama's 2011 State of the Union address, budget chair Paul Ryan defended cutbacks on social spending.
We're at a moment where if government's growth is left unchecked and unchallenged, America's best century will be considered our past century. This is a future in which we will transform our social safety net into a hammock, which lulls able-bodied people into lives of complacency and dependency, depending on bureaucracy to foster innovation, competitiveness, and wise consumer choices has never worked, and it won't work now. We need to chart a new course.
That was Paul Ryan, Reverend Jim Wallis.
Suggest the safety net's become a hammock shows me Paul Ryan's never been around poor people. I'd like to take him on a journey into the inner cities of his own state and around the world. Paul Ryan is acting like a bully. You know, bullies pick on people that have no clout. He's not picking on the people who have the real money. He's not asking his rich friends to sacrifice. He's acting like a bully. And so this has to be said out loud. You know, if you don't understand the struggles of ordinary people in this country, and you call their life a hammock, you've never been any place where there are poor people. You know, the faith community all the time. My brother in Detroit runs an organization that takes care of vulnerable people. His budget's being cut every day by the governor there. He's losing staff every day. In my hometown of Detroit, the river of pain is rising. He goes home at night to a house, his own house, that's underwater, and where the police don't even come to the next day if there's a burglar alarm. So men with guns are stripping houses, drinking their Budweiser while the alarm goes off, and people like my brother live in fear. Paul Ryan doesn't even know that world. He lives with rich people. You know, bullies pick on poor people. If he's a budget hawk, he should go to where the money is, but he won't because he doesn't have any courage.